So you've been thinking about it. You're getting ready to maybe even do it. That's right, you're thinking about coming out to Sacramento. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As always, my name is Justin Stankovic. I am here to talk about everything Sacramento Metro. If you're getting what you need out of these videos, please hit that like button, ding that bell so you get those notifications, and please subscribe. One last thing, make sure you share it too, just to help somebody out. If you're thinking about moving to the Sacramento area, that's what we're talking about today. This video, I'm going to really just do a really broad overview just because Sacramento, it has so much to offer out there. And then what I'll do is, of course, in other videos, we're gonna go ahead and break everything down for you. So let's get into it. Population out there is just over 500,000 people living out there. When I was growing up, everyone kind of thought of Sacramento as a little bit slow, a little bit backwards, but we've really caught up. We've got everything from tech jobs coming out, which Sacramento actually has a committee that has been working on getting more tech jobs out to this area. If you're into brewing, we got a lot of breweries coming out this way, brewing companies that are doing some startup stuff out here. Of course, we got medical, right? We got the UC Davis Medical Center out here. And then we've got about 3 or 4 different major construction companies, and then just everything that goes along with that. And then if you've ever heard of farm to fork, we're really big on that farm to fork thing out here. So we have a lot of local farmers out there that are providing the world with food, of course, which then leads us into packing and everything that goes with that. Average price in the area or in Sacramento is gonna be about $500,000. Again, that's pretty broad just because of the area and how widespread it is. It's really gonna fluctuate depending on your neighborhood. You can find something really as low as 300 all the way up to, of course, a few million. Again, depending on where we're at, how close to the river we are, that all comes into play, right? So one of the things that we are not known for, unfortunately, but I think we're starting to pick up some steam on this, is sports. We got the Sacramento Kings, right? We're bleeding, bleeding here, purple. Other than that, we've got the baseball team, the River Cats, which feed into the Giants. So if you're looking to kind of catch these guys before they go to the big leagues, you can hit that AAA team and go to the stadium, which is beautiful. Again, that one is right off the river, right by one of the bridges in Sacramento area. And then you can pop out there and talk about some of the areas by the actual stadium. Other than that, we also have Sac Republic. That is going to be our major league soccer team. I talked in another video about this, that they're actually building the soccer stadium as we speak. They cleared the ground. There was a little bit of a snag with the whole COVID happening, but they're back on track from what a little birdie tells me, and that stadium is still coming into play. They've just kind of changed a few things up with that. So again, we got sports out here. We got a lot of diehard sports fans, and hopefully some of those teams start to rise up. The Republic, Sac Republics are doing pretty good right now. So that's kind of the team to watch as the stadium, of course, gets built too. Other than that, I think one of the other things that I forgot to mention with jobs-wise is we also have the Capitol. I don't even know how I could forget that one right there. So we've got the Capitol, right? So if you're looking to get into government or anything that supports government, you've got it right in your backyard. So that's always a cool thing to be involved with. We get to be on the ground floor and really see a lot of the things that are gonna roll out in California before anybody else. Now on the freeways, we've got a couple different freeways. Pretty simple though, right? We got the Business 80, we've got actually the 50, which is more of a crosstown, and then we've got a portion of the 5 on the other side. So not too bad on the freeways for you. Everything's pretty simple to get to, but it can take some time. Just the worst of the 3, as long as you're not in that morning traffic or afternoon traffic, is really the 50, that crosstown, just because you've got everyone from both ways, right? North and south on both sides, really piling in there and then taking exits or just trying to get to the other side. Things to do around here, we got the train museum, of course the state capitol and taking tours there. You've got downtown, or I shouldn't say downtown, but you got old Sacramento, which you walk out there, there's a lot of great restaurants, food places. One of my favorite candy places is out there. I think it's called Candy Heaven. And when you get over there, you really feel like you've stepped back in time. You feel like you're almost in a Western. It's right on the river. There's, what is it called? Crawdads that's out there. It's just a fun little atmosphere to take the family, hang out. And then down some of those back alleys there, I actually haven't been there for a minute to know, but they've got some little blues places back there that are pretty cool that we've wandered into. Food-wise is probably the next thing. Like I was mentioning before, we got farm to fork. So a lot of good restaurants out here, more on their way. Just to name a few, my favorite breakfast joint in there is Bacon and Butter. This is a family style, so anything you order, it's coming large, and you're just gonna share with your table of 4, 5, 6, 10 people. So we'll usually go there. Little tip, if you wanna go there, there is going to be a line in the morning. If you just call the day before, you can usually get in. We've never run into trouble. I'll knock on some wood with that one. Again, there's so much food there, right? So my favorite place for barbecue is a place called Tank House. I hear they even have a drive-through. I haven't been there for a minute since they've done that, but that's a cool little place. You walk in there, it actually feels kind of like you're in almost like a little speakeasy. They're barbecuing pretty early in the morning there, so as soon as you're driving, if you're in the area at all, you're gonna get that whiff and need to pull over pretty quickly. Area-wise, there's a lot of different areas to talk about. So like I say, we'll break these down a little bit more. But some of my favorite places, and I'm talking about neighborhoods here, is probably the Pocket. These are gonna be a lot of ranch style type homes. It runs right into Greenhaven. They're big lots right off the river. That's kind of the same for like your Sierra Oaks type area. These are also gonna be ranch style homes. And price-wise, like I said, we'll go into those a little bit more on a different video. But for the most part, you're going to be looking at $600 to $700 on those, and they could kind of go up from there. If you're looking for a little bit more fun atmosphere, you've also have, or I shouldn't say fun atmosphere, but if you're looking for a little bit younger crowd, Tahoe Park's been one of those areas that's been going on for a couple years. Land Park is another one that you got a good mixture of kind of young adults and older families. These are houses that, of course, have been built, I believe, in the early 60s, if not 50s, and just have had a lot of work done on them. A lot of them have gone from just these little tiny tract homes to really being completely built out. And then you've got, of course, the big ranches out there as well, depending on where you're at in those little areas. Another favorite part for me is ESAC. Also, I love the Fab 40s. Fab 40s is one of those areas that you're going to get just these gigantic old homes. I mean, it's almost like owning a piece of history. There are some people doing some new build stuff in there, but for the most part, they're just really old mansions out there. And if you go to that area, if you're thinking about moving into that area, you're gonna be closer into those million price marks. But if you get out there and you like it, I will warn you, the 2 times that place is kind of crazy is gonna be at Halloween, because they give the full-size Snickers bars, not the little ones. And then Christmas, me and my wife and the kids have gone out there a couple different times. You actually get to jump onto a open carriage with a horse pulling you, and then all night, because of how many lights are out there, there's traffic all night. So if you like that kind of stuff, you like to be involved with the community, Fab 40s is an excellent place to be. You're not too far from anything at that point, so just a fun little area. And then the other area that's really kind of been going off, one of probably where I hang out the most when I go down there, is going to be Midtown. You got young families, you've got older individuals, you got a really cool mix of people in there. Walking score is great. You pretty much got everything out there. If it's a little far, like if you want to go down and watch the game or watch a concert at the Golden One Center, you just hop on one of the rental bikes or one of those scooters, and you just get on down there, and you're down there in about 5 minutes, probably even faster than if you're doing one of the scooters than if you're actually driving. And then the last neighborhood that I just want to mention is probably Arden Park, another great area to look into if you're thinking about actually moving into the Sacramento area. Other than that, we've got Sac Zoo, and then for activities, there's activities all throughout the city, anything your heart really desires. But probably one of the biggest things that people are doing, especially during the summertime, is you are doing something on the river, right? You got the Sac River and you've got the American River. They do run into each other, and it's just where everyone's at during the summertime, all summer long. Up north just a little bit in Sacramento, you actually have a lot of houses that are being built on the river. You also have some older houses that are being built on the river. The only downfall about having those rivers there, which we haven't had any of this, I've never heard of it because the infrastructure's really been set up really well. Your flood insurance could go up depending on where you're buying, just because if you go onto a FEMA map, you'll kind of see it like, hey, if we ever had just a crazy flood, which unfortunately we haven't had to worry about at the time of this filming, but it will show some different areas where they may let the water flood out. But for the most part, Sacramento has been really good about building things out, letting the water run into parks if they need to for overflow. And I haven't, in my lifetime, I haven't heard of anybody having any flooding issues in the city. Now, if you have a house on the river, we did sell a house a couple years back that actually had twice, but most of the houses out there are built on stilts. Only reason that they had any issues is because they actually closed those stilts up and made it a room. And so first time it flooded, they had carpet and some other stuff in there. The second time it flooded, they actually kind of knew, hey, this could happen again. So they really just made it flood proof. So it was made for the water to come in and out. But other than that, like I say, anything that's built on the Sac River is built on stilts. So if that flood water ever comes in, it doesn't really affect the house at all. So again, guys, this has been all about Sacramento. We'll dive a little bit deeper into each neighborhood so I can break it down a little bit more for you. If you have any questions, though, in the meantime, please leave that comment. Hit me up on that cell phone number down on the bottom there, or you can go ahead and schedule a quick 15-minute Zoom call. We love to answer your questions and help you out any way we can with buying or selling a property here in the Sacramento metro area. I'll see you on the next one.